It turns out OBS is better at recording than DaVinci Resolve because it's got a very good background noise filter on it. So I'm going to use that for my intro today. Hello there. Hello there. Oh. Hello there. Every single time. Hello there. I'm SilentApollo, and welcome to episode 2 of my Factorio Space Age All Achievements, No Brains. Yeah, I actually wrote what I wanted to say. Here we go again. Hello there. I'm SilentApollo, and welcome to episode 2 of Factorio Space Age All Achievements, No Brains. In this one, I reset my achievements and go through the list, picking out the ones that will cause me the biggest problems. After that, I'll be going through the requirements for the Lazy Bastard achievement. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want more videos, subscribe. And if not, well, I'm happy you're here anyway. Right, so the point in this particular video is to test that, well, let's put it this way. I recorded the entirety of my achievements figuring out video and the Lazy Bastard requirements working out, all without actually recording my voice. So I'm going to be doing that again, but yeah, so this short clip is me testing whether the mic audio is actually getting picked up as well as the game audio. And the whole reason it wasn't before is because I tried to separate it in separate tracks, but in OBS, let me just show you. In OBS, in order to output multiple tracks, you need to go into your output recording settings and actually turn on audio track number 2 here. Obviously it's grayed out right now because I'm recording at the moment, but yeah, so audio track 1 needs to be checked and audio track 2 needs to be checked if you're using 2 audio tracks in your advanced audio properties, which I am. So I've got my desktop audio, that's the game sound coming through, and my mic audio, and I had them set to track 1 and 2, but I didn't have track 2 being output in the output settings, so it wasn't actually outputting me talking. So here's me starting up Factorio again to re-record that entire video because of one checkbox. Anyway, here we go again. In fact, I'm actually going to pick up I'm going to close that. I'm going to pick up my notes from before. I don't need to launch OBS again. I need to find the plan.txt and open with, I actually wanted to use basic notepad for that. Am I going to rewrite all of this? No, I'm not. So you're just going to have to deal with it already existing, I'm afraid. But the point is, I went in here into settings, other, and I deleted my achievements so that I could see exactly which achievements I needed to do and so that I wouldn't miss anything. So yeah, that's how you delete your achievements. By the way, this deletes all your achievements in your Factorio user as well as on Steam. So it clears your Steam achievements list as well. So only do this if you really want to. And they even make it very clear so that you can't accidentally do it. You actually have to type delete in all capitals to make it happen. So you can't do it wrong. I'm going to start this up, which is the very beginning of the run, and is where we're going to actually start. Now I'm going to collect all of this so that I can see what it is that I have available to me at the start of the game. So I have available to me a burner mining drill, stone furnace, and a couple of other bits. The achievements list you can access here, and you'll notice that the timer is already ticking on these. So what's nice about this is I don't need to restart the map. I can see that the timer is all set and ready, so I can just go from the beginning of the map for when I'm actually starting the run without having to go through the whole map generation bit again, even though I could copy the settings and paste in the map string, the seed and everything. Anyway, here we go again. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through all of the achievements and pick out the ones that are going to cause me the most problems. So basically most of these aren't an issue. In fact, I'm going to start with... No, let's just go from the top. So build an assembly machine, build a locomotive, build a Spidertron, research oil processing, start producing power with steam, use a solar panel, use a nuclear fuel, use fusion power. All of those are doable at some point in the run, so I'm not worried about that. In fact, a lot of them will happen anyway before all the timing achievements get completed. So the ones I'm worried about are the ones that are going to cause me problems, and the ones that need to be done by a certain time, which I guess count as ones that are going to cause me problems. But anyway, create a space platform again, travel to all the planets, that's all fine. Crafting with speed, okay, all the module ones, crafting. I'm not going to do any of these probably before the 40-hour mark, at least before we get the 40-hour achievement, which if I play the game right will be before the 40-hour mark. But anyway, launch a rocket will happen, finish the game will happen, trigger an alien attack. Well, that's going to be pretty soon into the run. That won't be a problem. Construct machines using robots at least 100 times. That's going to happen, no problem. Construct more machines using robots than manually. Again, no problem. Deconstruct 100 objects with the construction robots. Again, no problem. We can pick up a bunch of trees like that, for example. Use a logistics robot to supply the character. Again, we'll definitely be doing that. Supply the character 10,000 times. That's fine. Have a train plan a long path. I mean, again, we can do that whenever. Get killed by a train. That's quite funny, but also not. It's a bit dark. Anyway, that aside, I guess it's better than dying because you're playing Factorio. But well, forget that. Anyway, survive a hit of more than 500 damage, or of at least 500 damage. At the moment, the biggest hit I've taken is nothing, and that was from the fire. Anyway, this will all reset because I'm not starting the run now. I'm just looking through what it's going to take. Completely deplete a resource patch, so that's not going to be an issue. These starter patches, the iron and the copper here, they're definitely going to get used up before the end of the run, so that'll be fine. It stinks and they do like it. That's a Gleber one. I think that's not going to be a problem. That's a Volcanus one. That won't be a problem. Go to the Shattered Planet. 60 clicks. That's an interesting one. But again, it's not going to cause me any issues in terms of failing the run. So I don't need to worry about that. First one that is going to cause me an issue is getting on track like a pro, which is within 90 minutes, I need to build a train. And that means place it on a track in the world. So you need a track, you need a train, engine, and you need to place it in the world by 1.5 hours into the run. The next up is mass producing electronics, so just produce a ton of green, red and blue electronic circuits. Again, not an issue. Same for iron. Again, we can do that whenever. Produce more than 10 gigajoules per hour using only solar panels. That's actually easier than it used to be. It'll take less solar panels than it would have before because we can do it on Vulcanus, which means it'll only take 1/4 of the solar panels to get that achievement. So that's nice. Research with all the science packs, research with space, metallurgics, promethium. So we do need to research with promethium in order to complete this run, so I'll be doing that, which I don't think I've done yet. So that's new. Research all the technologies. That, by the way, does not include the infinite technologies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. At the end of the tech tree are a number of sciences, technologies that have this infinity symbol on them in the little corner there. That basically means you can research them indefinitely. They just get exponentially more expensive. They cost more science packs to research. Don't know if the time changes on them. I don't think it does. I think they're all 60 seconds. This one takes 120 seconds to research, but yeah. The point is, those infinite researches aren't part of that achievement. So yeah, completing all the techs will be done. And then rush to space. I've taken a note of this one because we need to research a technology from another planet before we use production or utility science packs. So we can't use yellow or purple science. So I'm going to be going through that in the next video, exactly what that means for us in terms of how we get off novice, and then what we do before we actually unlock these sciences. And then destroy a biter spawner. That'll happen. Destroy 10 spawners by driving through them. That'll happen. Destroy 10,000 trees with fire. I mean, we can just set a forest on fire. That's no problem. Run into 100 trees. Again, no problem. You destroy a cliff. We will be doing that. Use a nuke. Yeah, that'll happen. Have 100 combat robots or more following you. That's fine. Art of Siege. Destroy an enemy structure using artillery. Again, not a problem. But this next one, I didn't even realize this was an achievement before I signed myself up for this. So yeah, I've got this to look forward to. By the way, destroy your first enemy structure using artillery. So we can't kill these initial biter spawners here and here. Can't run out to them. Can't kill them until we have artillery, which means until we've gone to Vulcanus. That's one of the reasons why I want to get to Vulcanus first. There are a few other reasons, but now that I know that is a requirement for this run, Vulcanus is definitely the first one I want to get to because you unlock artillery on Vulcanus. Kill a demolisher, and a demolisher. We can do that at any time, so that's fine. Use quality modules, make shiny armor, eat very shiny fish, make a very, very shiny quality module, have the shiniest of shiny armors, that's all fine, and then lazy bastard. So I've taken a note of this, and at the end of this video I'm going to go through exactly what we need to get lazy bastard and what we have left over in terms of manual crafting at the start of the run to help speed us up or secure the start. Steam all the way. That just means I have taken a note because that's something I need to keep in mind. So if I just show you, I've got a lot of things in my notes. So we've got, actually I'll show you this at the end once I've gone through these achievements. So we've got steam all the way, which means we can't build a solar panel until we've launched a rocket. Can't build laser turrets until we've launched a rocket, so we'll be relying solely on bullets. I don't think... Oh, and flamethrowers, I guess. It's fine though, because flamethrowers are pretty good. As long as you've got a decent amount of oil, we'll be fine with flamethrowers. Unless they require utility, or in which case that's going to be a thing. Actually, I'm going to check that just now because I'm worried about that. Flamethrower. No. Okay, it's fine. They just take military science. Oof. That's a relief. Alright. Where was I? Demolishers, solar panels, raining bullets, logistics network embargo. That just means, by the way, that we can't use requester chests, active providers, or buffer chests. So the blue chests are out, the purple chests are out, and the green chests are out. But we can still use the red chests and the yellow chests. So we can use the personal logistics system, and we can use construction robots. But we can't use requester or the logistics robot network until we have researched a pack from a planetary science pack. Research any technology that uses planetary science packs. So in this run, it's going to be a Volcanus tech that gives us access to that, basically. So that's fine. The time for chit chat is longer, is 15 hours. Then there is no spoon, so the there is no spoon achievement is going to be something we have to manage, and that's launch a rocket within 8 hours. So I've taken a note of that. And finish the game within 100 hours is longer than finish the game within 40 hours. So express delivery, that's our biggest target, is finish the game within 40 hours. So that is gonna be a fun one. But the first, and so long and thanks for all the fish. If you don't know, you'll find out by the end of this run what that means. But again, that can be done at any time, so I'm not worried about it. Okie dokie. That's all the achievements we've gone through. That's nice and simple. So I'm just gonna break down all the ones that are gonna cause us problems. Don't kill biter spawners until we do so with artillery. So that means we'll be dealing with biters the whole way until we get to Volcanus. I know the idea is to build a stable base on Novice, but because of this one, I'm considering building something that if it falls, it won't matter too much. Because once we get to Volcanus, I can basically, Volcanus is awesome in terms of building anything and everything. So as long as I've got the startup materials needed on Volcanus, I can go 100% Volcanus before I actually come back to Novice, although losing all the science would mean I have to rebuild science on Volcanus, which would take a lot of time out of the run. So yeah, the idea is don't lose Novice and then use artillery to clean up everything once we get back. So yeah, but if we do lose Novice, I'm not going to end the run. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to plow through and pray. Again, no solar panels before rocket launch. I'm not worried about that. It's fine, but it's just something to keep in mind. And no laser turrets before rocket launch. Again, like I said, we can use flamethrowers and standard gun turrets, so we should be alright. Right, no yellow or purple science before Volcanus. Gotta remember that. And no logistics robots. No logistic crafting before Volcanus either. Not that that's a very efficient way of doing things anyway, but whatever. It'll change the way I play a little bit. Right, Lazy Bastard, no more than 111 handcrafts before rocket launch. That one, you can see the requirements here already, but I'll talk you through those and how I got to those numbers in a minute. We need to build a train on a track within 90 minutes. So combined with Lazy Bastard and Don't Kill Biter spawners, this one is going to be a little bit of a pain. So yeah, if we get to this, like I said, I'll be fairly confident we can launch a rocket within 8 hours. So that's the there is no spoon achievement, and then there's this one which is express delivery. Complete the game within 40 hours. Everything else can be done as and when. So once we've completed this one, I'm happy to relax again and just take my time. But up to that point, I need to do things very efficiently. I'm deciding whether or not I want to do save scumming. So basically, make regular saves, and then if something goes wrong, I just go back and start over. I mean, is that cheating? Maybe in some people's eyes, but honestly, there's only so much time in our life, so I'm gonna probably end up resorting to that strategy by the end of it, because it'll just get too much otherwise. All right, and then I was going to talk about okay. All right, next we go through what it takes to complete the Lazy Bastard achievement. So basically, what that means is if I was to craft something by hand, which I can't do right now anyway, so I don't have enough ingredients, but if I was to click on this, it would do a bunch of handcrafts, and by the way, that counts also the components. So every time you craft something down here, that counts as one craft. So 1 gear would be a craft, and a burner miner would take 3 gears, a stone furnace, and the burner miner craft. So that's 3, 4, 5 in total. So yeah, what exactly does it take to get to the Lazy Bastard? Well, the assembling machine takes 14 crafts to do, and you get an extra copper cable. So how did I get to that? Well, if I look at the automation tech and hover over assembling machine, I can see that it takes 5 gears and 3 green circuits. And if I go over to the green circuit one, I can see that a green circuit takes 3 copper cables to make. So I would need 9 copper cables to get 3 green circuits. But the copper cable craft gives you 2 copper cables per craft. That's a lot of... That's a fun tongue twister, by the way. So altogether for 9 copper cables, I would need to craft copper cable 5 times. Yeah, 5 times. So I would end up with 10 copper cable, which is why I get a spare copper cable for that. So all in all, that's 5 copper cable crafts, 3 green circuit crafts, 5 gear crafts, and 1 assembling machine craft, and that's how you get to 14. So that's that. And the next up is the 10 red science packs. Now, red science packs take a gear to make, so it's 2 crafts per pack. They just also take 5 seconds to make each one. So yeah, it takes 20 crafts for red science. The power pole takes 2, and that is because it takes a copper cable, but you do get 2 power poles for that. So, pros and cons. It takes 2 crafts to make a power pole. I've said copper cable too many times already. It's getting to me. Offshore pump takes 6. So if you go in here, you can see 2 gears is 1 craft each, and 3 pipes. A pipe takes 1 craft and 1 pipe, but that's whatever. So that's 5 crafts for the components and 1 craft for the pump. So that takes 6. The boiler, same except it's a furnace and 4 pipes. And the steam engine takes 8 gears, 5 pipes, so that's 13 crafts plus 1 for the actual steam engine, so 14. And then there's the lab. The lab takes 39 crafts in total. So if I quickly look at the lab in here, so what I did there was alt click on the actual lab icon there, and it brought me to the Factoriopedia where I could see exactly what it takes to make one. That's 10 gears, so that's 10 crafts for the gears. 10 circuits. I remember you need 3 copper cables for each circuit, so that's 30 copper cables, but you get 2 copper cables per craft, so that would be 15 crafts. So that's 15 copper cable crafts plus 10 electronic circuits plus 10 gears, and then the 4 transport belts. Now transport belts, you actually get 2 per craft, so it's only 2 of those and 2 gears, so it's 4 crafts for the transport belts, 35 for the green circuits, 25 for the green circuits and 10 for the gears, which is how I got to my 39, because obviously the lab takes 1 as well. Okay. And then I looked at what I've got left over. So I added all of those up and I ended up with 101 handcrafts and a copper cable left over. I did some thinking and I realized that I could make a burner mining drill, which, like we said at the beginning, takes 5 handcrafts and a furnace, so that's 6 in total, leaving me with 4. Now I could make 1 inserter, but I don't see a reason to do that, because what would I be inserting to and from at that point? I mean, I've just got burner drills and a furnace and maybe 1 assembling machine and a lab. So yeah, I think it's, especially given the fact that I have to deal with sorry, that's the wrong one. I have to deal with that and that. I think going for a more military approach with the light armor, which takes 1 craft, and the 3 ammo, which take 1 craft each, would be much better for me in this run. Yeah, so I would get 3 extra firearms and a light armor. Sorry, firearm magazines or ammo. And 1 light armor, which goes in here, which adds, by the way, a little bit of resistance. You get like 20% damage resistance to the little biters, so hopefully that'll save me. And I've realized that when I do this, I'm going to need military research as soon as possible, so I'll be focusing on turrets and military research while I get the basic automation set up. Remember, this blueprint is the starting point, so once this is kind of working and automated, I'm going to focus on expanding this to speed things up, and obviously adding more of these, which of course means the pollution cloud is going to grow. So by that time, I'm hoping by the time they attack, I'm hoping that I've got some turrets. But anyway, all of that is for another video. So yeah, for now that's this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.